I would like to invite up on stage two coaches. First, Mr. C.G.K. Bhupathi, and with him, Mr. S. Narendranath. No prizes for guessing that that letter came from the desk of Mr. Krishna Bhupathi. Please join us. Mr. Bhupathi, real honor to have you here with us. Can you tell us a little bit of the background to a letter like that? Did you write to every single student a letter like that?
Can you hear me? Yeah. Good evening, everyone. It's a privilege to be here. Thank you very much, Nandan. And privileged to have been associated with Rohan. Of course, you don't write letters like that to everyone. You only can do that to people who can execute it. And Rohan, of course, was able to execute it. That's how it is.
Wonderful. And Mr. Narendranath, you saw Rohan as a young player. What was he like as a youngster? And what were the coaching objectives you had with him? How was he receiving the coaching that you set out for him?
Good evening, everyone. When he first walked into Pune and came to the academy, he was this tall, lanky boy. And I remember when he used to start playing, his hands and legs were all over town. I mean, they were really moving without much coordination or anything. And I'm not going to shy away from saying this. When I first saw him as a coach, I never knew whether he would become such a good tennis player that he is today. You know, but his pure dedication and his hard work that he was ready to put made every coach think twice before writing anybody off. And I think that's a very good lesson he taught me.
And early on, he was that person you would not have necessarily expected. But he stuck it out. And what was it that kept the coaches interested in his journey as well?
It's pure hard-working ability, and there was not a single moment for a tennis coach to tell him that please focus or work hard or move your feet. I mean, this quality looked inborn in him, and he would do it day in and day out. And that's a great kind of characteristic that a coach would like to see.
And if you break down his early years, I mean, he obviously had a big serve.
He had big serve. He always used to swing at the ball. I mean, he never hesitated from hitting the tennis ball at all. But just keep on grinding. I think he believed in himself, and it all came through.
Wonderful. And sir, you saw him at a slightly later phase in that journey. What did you receive, and what did you work on with someone like Rohan?
The first thing that hits you when you see Rohan is it's a God-given service. So with that service, you have 50% of the game in your hand. You are already at a great advantage. So what I had immediately thought about is all I have to do is teach this guy how to keep the ball going and make the points work in his favor on the opponent's service. You asked us to think of one word: tough. Tough son of a gun. And he wouldn't give up. And I've seen him as soon as he came. Of course, assessment was the first thing we do. And I still remember, I asked him, such a wonderful volleyer like Nandan Bal taught you to volley like this. So he gave me an answer which I won't repeat here. But we worked on the volley first, because with that big serve, the volley was the real necessity. Then we had to work on backhand. That was the time when he fought with me. He told me to get lost. so from there, we got the backhand going. Once the backhand was there was no stopping him.
In a conversation I had with Rohan a few months ago, he talks very much about how you taught him the second serve, the kicker serve, and how having the second weapon actually made the first weapon, which was his first serve, more potent. Can you talk us a little bit? He said that you were the first person to bring up that into his game, and that actually transformed and the trajectory of how he played tennis.
This is absolutely a fact, because unless you have a great second serve you can depend upon, you cannot hit your first serve. And once you hit, if you remember those days when he was 20, 21, he used to serve a lot of double faults because he didn't have the second serve. And he wouldn't go for a big first serve, which he had. So the second serve had to be there. If that is not there, the first serve, you're as good as your second serve is. And that's what Rohan, but he bore with me, and I really gave him tough time, very, very tough time. And I would make him hit second serves 45 minutes on a coin, especially the white ball. Because once he got the second serve, I was quite sure that Rohan could become into a very big singles player as well. It didn't happen, but didn't happen to an extent. It would have happened also, but he proved me right when he played against Brazil in Chennai Davis Cup. He won the match, tie for us single-handed, I would say.
I was there. I watched that.
You're
Amazing.
there?
Yes.
I would say he won the tie for India. On the first match, he lost. He lost the match, but he won the tie on that day. That's how I look at it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Mr. Narendranath, what do you think makes him different as a tennis player? So you look at him, you had a chance to coach him early on, but then as an analyst, you followed that career over 25-year period. If you were to just be an outsider but also an insider, talk us through the technical aspects of Rohan's game and what made him stay the course and have those big wins so late in the career?
I think the word perseverance blends with him very well, and I think he stuck to it. He believed in himself, and he kept working harder and harder and harder, and everything fell in place as time went by. And I think that's his major quality, and I would like to see that kind of quality be taken up by a lot of young people. And even parents, I mean, they need to believe in it as well.
And to that extent, what does Rohan's journey, what are the lessons it has for, I'd say, the broader tennis fraternity, but also for coaches?
As a coach, I don't think a coach should ever give up on any child. I think they should work with a lot of positivity in them to see that their ward can succeed at any point of time. And from a player's point of view, they need to believe that things will fall in place as we move along, but we need to keep working hard. It takes a long time, but we need to stay through it.
Mr. Bhupathi, just closing with you, when you look at your own career as a coach, I mean, you've had multiple successes, Mahesh, Rohan. What is the DNA of someone who makes it great versus someone who plays the sport and then sort of moves on to other things?
It's the guts to execute what they learn in practice. We teach, all of us teach the same thing. The A to Z of tennis is the same. The alphabet doesn't change. But they are able to execute what they learn with the guts. Like Rohan can bring down that backhand down the line on a very important point, which I have taught many others, which they don't have the guts to do that. That is one. But as coaches, we account for about 10 to 15% of their success, of their learning. Once they go on the tour, they learn so much. We learn watching them. Now, if you see one poster outside, there is one poster outside when we walk through. There is a backhand low ball which Rohan is hitting. We don't teach that. We cannot teach that. We don't even throw that ball at that level. But these guys know that unless the eye is at the level of the ball, they learn it on the tour because of the competition they are with. So they mature into players. 85% is their own talent. 15% is what little we teach.
And I think Rohan also acknowledges that of how you actually went out and brought so much back to Indian tennis. You went along with Mahesh, watched sport, but that observation you brought back into practice, which is a very unique thing at that point of time when there wasn't that much television, there wasn't that much coaching, pedagogy easily available. But what actually motivated you to go out and bring tennis and the insights that you had to India?
You know, I was outside India. I was teaching tennis outside India. I taught Mahesh when I was outside India. And I was having a pretty good life. But I decided I wanted to teach Indian children. And fortunately, I could afford it because a coach doesn't make money. So I said, let me go back and teach this thing. Fortunately, Rohan came to me, Sania came to me the same time, and Mahesh and Leander were on the up, so there was popularity for the sport. And then, of course, as in every business, every industry, every technology, it's changing by the minute. So you have to learn, you have to keep yourself up to date. So if you don't go and watch the players, what they are able to do on the court, you will be still playing 1948 tennis. That's when I was born. So we have to upgrade ourselves. And we have to teach what the physical fitness levels are able to get them to. So like Djokovic can do splits on both sides of the court. So obviously you can't do the same thing, but you have to do as close to that as possible if you want to reach the top 10 level. I would say to reach the top 100 level, the fitness level required is enormous.
Wonderful, thank you. And just some closing words from both of you. To Rohan, one of his avatars is potentially a coach in the future. So coach to coach, Mr. Narendranath, what would you tell a future coach, Rohan?
I think what he's doing right now, I think it's remarkable because he has got so much knowledge about the game. And for him to try get down to grooming the youngsters, I think they are very lucky to have him there around. And I wish him all the success, and he's an extremely hardworking and humble human being, and I wish him all the luck.
Any more advice from the desk of Krishna Bhupathi? Another letter coming up?
I would like to share a couple of things about Rohan, which are very, very important. One is the character he showed in 2012 Olympics troubles we had, and the way he stuck to his guns. That's why I call him tough. He's tough, very tough person. He's a very charming smile, but don't get fooled by that. He stayed so clear in his mind what he wanted to do. We lost what we could have easily called a 100% guaranteed gold medal in Olympics 2012, thanks to the politics. But Rohan did not flinch. That is that's the character which must have helped him right through his career. I have seen him. The first year he walked into Wimbledon, I have seen him there. From there, gradually finding his feet there, and then, of course, center court. Then another thing I must share with the audience, none of you probably had the pleasure of watching what I did. I think it is 2011, 12 or 13, I don't remember. Semi-finals at Wimbledon, house full, 14,000 people. And Rohan was playing with his French partner, I don't remember his name, against the Bryan brothers. And unfortunately, Rohan was down low 40 on his serve in the fifth set against the number one pair, undoubted legends of this thing. He was down low 40. He served 5 aces on the tee, one after one after one. 14,000 people stood up and clapped. 14,000 people clapped there. That was the most wonderful moment in my life. I have seen that beautiful thing. Other thing he has done, another thing I must say is when we played Brazil, he played number 17 in the world. He was somewhere near 1,000 or 1,200 rank Rohan in singles. Since India had no singles players, they requested Rohan to play. And because he had a service, we knew that he would keep himself going. He peppered that man till he served for the match. He didn't win that match, but he peppered him completely. We lost the first day 2 matches. The second day, Leander and Mahesh, they won the doubles match. That night we had a dinner. I called him across and said, leave your team members and you come and sit with me for the dinner. And I told him that your match will not start at 2 o'clock, as you said. As scheduled, it will start between 10:30 and 11:30 and 12. So you get prepared for that match. He had blind faith in me, and he did exactly that. And he followed his game plan and brought India the tie by winning the 5th live match. Live singles match to win is a dream, which Rohan did. So these are the wonderful things I think it's nice to share with you people.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.